You mean G-Boy? No,
G-Boy.
G-Boy's not playing either, but...
Just kidding, guys. It's Trex here, along with Leo. Jumping on the desk now for these last two. Jumping on the desk for these last two series. It's been a long day. DreamMax Girls up against Smart Omega Empress. Now Naisu. DreamMax Girls on the edge right now, and it's been so sad. I love how Eterna put it. The longer you stay for these games, the more teams you have to see go home, and right now they are on the edge. Can they compete against the Filipinos?
Well, I think so. You know, I guess you hope that they made a quick enough adjustment from what they just went through in their previous match, of course, because, you know, I know there wasn't like a format video for this, but this is also brutal and legendary, man. Like, I mean, the whole MWI format itself, quite interesting on how this has all been playing a part, especially now that we're nearly done with groups. And like they mentioned on the panel stand too, you know, some of the information going out there, of course. I just want to say congratulations to C9. They made it through. You're feeling pretty good about it.
I'm feeling pretty good, but we're not here for that right now, Naisu. We're here for this pick that I want to point out right here. We got the Moskov. We also have the Farza in here. Two picks that haven't really been popular so far in the group stage, especially for me. It was so... Wait a second, a little bit of damage.
A lot of damage coming out, but as you were saying.
Yeah, the Moskov hasn't been a really popular pick in the MWI so far, which to me was kind of surprising because Moskov was hugely favored in MSC. He was a game changer throughout tournaments, but he can be risky, right? You really got to be able to know how to keep your distance. You got to know how to move. You got to know how to groove, and you got to be able to farm to get to that point where he can pop off. And with how aggressive some of these girl teams have been, it might not be the answer for that early game aggression that they want to bring. So DreamMax Girls this time going for a bit more of a front-to-back classic utility jungle, and they have a lot of late game potential with the Farza and the Moskov, so let's see if they can pull it off.
Murray already go in, start the fight, but a penalty zone comes in from Hybrdy. They're gonna have to fight it off once again. Murray will flicker out. Still, turtle for the taking here. A lot of ultimates expended. DreamMax Girls once again with onward into the Earth Shatter, but Kyria gonna flicker out. Won't be enough though as Amore picks up a kill. First blood. Still, once again, Turtle will reset. Not sure if Hybrdy can actually keep them at bay, but that is going to be it. Keshi will go ahead and grab that turtle.
Omega Empress able to take a little bit of a lead here, almost 1,000 gold already. We're about to be 3 minutes in. Aslan holding his own though, and I think as long as Aslan can hold her own, things are possible for DreamMax. The game's still in their hands, and we're still early on. We have this, we have the Lolita pick. Here comes Anumi on.
Angelus, yeah, she's going to roll on out, so she's fine. Feathered Airstrike also from La La Land, but yeah, I think that's the point, you know. Aslan, she's got to go ahead and just farm up because she picked this also in the previous matchup that they had, and, you know, she has some good placements and positioning with the Moskov pick, but I think, you know, the work is still going to be there, especially with the lineup that they have. Hopefully she can land the proper Spear of Destructions. You know, that's part of it. You kind of have to be like an Olympic level spear thrower, javelin thrower when you lock in the Moskov here.
Long distance spears. I actually used to compete in that in high school.
Did you?
No. Let's look at these items though. Moskov falling a little bit below. In the jungle is something I want to point out here. Angelus keeping up right now with the Julian, and this is one of the few utility junglers that we actually see that's essentially still pretty viable, the Basha. And I think having the Farza as this more of backline, stable, feathered airstrike, you know, just stable damage dealer, very positional. It's going to be important to have this utility jungle that can kind of help out with Hybrdy.
Whoa, look at the damage. Penalty zone are going to be used, luckily for the body of Smith. Hybrdy doesn't go down just yet. Feathered airstrike also. Keshi will go down, and now next on the chopping block, not a Yanami, but she gets taken out by Angelus. What a response from DMG.
Beautiful response. I mean, Smart Omega Empress felt like they had it. They are going to be able to get a lot of gold plating here, possibly a tower, but still DreamMax Girls showing that maybe they were just, maybe they were just getting some of the rust off in the last series. They're showing that they do still have some mechanics, some things to play. Aslan getting some gold plating for himself in the mid side, and the rest of DMX sitting here helping out.
Okay. Again, if it wasn't for that passive with the Therese of the body of Smith, Hybrdy would have gone down, but this flips things in their favor, at least for now. A little bit of momentum to work with. Onward in, they go in, and now once again, Carrier going to be taken out now. Hybrdy, Angelus will go ahead and get the turtle. They're on the retreat here. Keisha also there, but the damage just isn't enough. Murray gonna jump in, gets the stun on La La Land, and Primal Wrath already gonna be used as well, but not Inami might be in trouble here. 2 tanks unleashing on her, but she gets back into the form and she'll be all right. So once again, 1-1 for the objectives here, the Turtles for both teams.
2-2 in kills, 1-1 in objectives. It's feeling pretty even. Smart Omega Empress, they are holding a little bit of a gold lead, but still the game could go either way. Now, I do want to say, the longer this game goes, I do feel like DreamMax Girls start to gain maybe a little bit of momentum, a little bit of an advantage, especially with the Moskov. Yes, Smart Omega Empress does have a lot of late game potential having this carry, but I think after time, the Julian will start to become a little less effective. We'll start to become a little more of a CC utility than exactly just straight burst damage. Something that Smart Omega does have going for him, we just saw a little bit of it from Mireille, was that Numion Blast. We even saw a little bit of a sidestep there, a little bit of that flicker to make sure we get the stun in. Taking a look at some of these items right now, Julian has the wand in, able to start stacking up, get more penetration on the other side of the jungle. We have the we have a little bit of burn. We have the radiant armor, a little bit of defense to help deal, especially deal with the Edith whenever the primal form comes in. So a little bit of possibilities though.
Oh, and we'll talk about the burst. Spear of Destruction going to be used. Aslan joins the fight in the mid lane. Nana Yanamami will go down, and now Eternal Guard going to be dropped. But Keishi gets out. Man, the battle once again. Murray could be left alone. She's fine though, quite tanky. And as you were talking about the items, I think she is going with Flask of the Oasis first item, helping out with the shields, of course, for the team. Turtle's going to spawn, though. Third one now for the game, but that top turret will be taken out by Hybridy.
You know what I just noticed? The lettering for DreamMax, it's DMX, man. Are you a DMX fan? Rough Riders?
Rough Riders?
Rough Riders. And they're going to try to ride on through, try to get this dub. And they're actually, I feel like after seeing some of the moments of the last series, DreamMax Girls are definitely stepping up their game. We knew that La La Land was going to perform, but now the rest of the team is starting to perform. It feels like the whole team is actually working as a team this time and keeping up with the Pinoys, with the Philippines, with Smart Omega Empress, a favorite, but here we go.
Look at the damage, and once again, Keria has no time to even pop the implosion. She's just deleted, and again, this is the interaction with that Julian pick, already able to just burst people down. Turtle secured here for Smart Omega Empress, and once again, they'll make their way now down the bottom side, looking to get these turrets down, because you already saw, you know, DreamMax Girls are doing a pretty good job through the macro level, putting pressure on these side lanes, big pressure even on that tier 2 turret. They got a little bit of damage up here on the top side, so Omega Empress is going to have to deal with kind of keeping that under control, of course, you know, at this point. But so far, the fact that they've been able to get these objectives, they get themselves a very minor lead ahead. But this is where the items also start to fall in place, you know, once we get to that mid-game.
Yeah, Glowing Wand just gets secured for Shanoa. It's going to be huge. Start making sure that passive gets procced quicker and quicker and quicker. And look at Shanoa even. I love the movement across the map now.
Oh, wow. What a throw. I'm not sure if Shanoa is going to be able to escape. Aslan will go ahead and get a kill, and now fighting off with not Aniyami. The rest of the team going to try to get here in time. Aslan running for her life, but she will get taken down by Amore. And now Neural Blast charged up, finds a couple of targets. Amore trying to stay alive, but Angelus will pick up the kill. Eternal Guard there on the front side, but they've lost the damage. But hold on, Keshi looking for another possible. We'll find Hybridy. And that's a pickup once again. Smart Omega Empress still going for more onward into the air shadow, but the feathered airstrike enough to cover down the line. Murray will fall, and now it's Angelus. A bloodbath here on the top side.
So I think that ends up an even 3 for 3. I think it ends up an even 3 for 3 overall. That was a long fight. Aslan with, as you said, the Olympic throw spear to help at least secure the kill and
She's got an arm.
down Shanoa. She definitely has an arm. And speaking of the marksman, let's take a look at some of these items. Shanoa already has, we got Golden Staff, we have Corrosion Scythe, and it looks like we're going into a possible Rose Gold a little bit early on maybe, or at least building the first half of it, and then maybe switching over to DHS. Kind of depends, but building the first half is still, you get a little bit of a passive there, you get that little bit of shield, gives you a little bit of sustainability, but Aslan.
Oh no, Aslan, Numenor Blast already going to be dropped down, and there's too many light wheels as Aslan will fall. Great decisive decision, pick off there in the bottom side. They're going to get the turret too, and in mid lane, Eternal Guard already dropped down, and Keria has not been able to pop the implosion multiple times at this point. She's struggling on this pick.
You know, Smart Omega right now, following the typical go-to of what you see in so many great Filipino teams. We don't have to win early on. We can wait for that first Lord. We can wait till that big mid-game 8 to 10 minute spike and then pop off. And as DreamMax Girls, the game starts to move on, they seem to be a bit more spread apart. They seem to be a bit more prone to getting picked off, and Smart Omega was just getting started in the beginning, and now we're starting to see them kind of catch that groove. They've got a Lord, they found a couple extra kills, they've taken about a 3K gold lead. DHS finally locked in for Shinoa, so yes, just built the first half of the Rose Gold to get the passive, be a bit more sustainable, and then finishes out DHS. An interesting item build that you don't see all the time, but definitely is going to work out, especially on a carry who wants to get up close and personal, who wants to be ready to fight.
Not only that, but also you have the advantage of, you know, relying on this Lolita to kind of set things up for you with the Pneumo Blast. You, of course, have the shields in consideration, too. So there's a lot to kind of play around with. And right now, they're going to march in with this Lord. It's top side. Winner's Crown also picked up here. They might try to push in for more. Carrie, if this is her time, it's time to get an implosion to set things up. Aslan also picks up the DHS. The shields will be popped. The turrets still stand, though. Right now, Smart Omega Empress still looking to set their eyes possibly on that tier 2 in the bottom side.
All right, so 4.2K gold lead. Smart Omega still not rushing it, playing it patient. They got the Lord push. Should easily be able to take this unless DreamMax Girls really want to try to force it. But look at Shinoa just shredding. Just a couple more hits should be gone. Taking a lot of shots to the face from Aslan, though. The passive getting through, definitely even still doing damage without the direct hits. Back to these items, we've covered on these gold laners. Tanks, Flask of Oasis is locked in for Murray now. Oracle as well. Shinoa just finished out the Rose Gold Meteor. Wondering what the last item is going to be. If it's going to be maybe something defensive like the Immortality. Do you go for Wind of Nature? You know, something along those lines. Something to, you know, the juggling item, right? Yep. In terms of jungler, Winter Crown just locked in for Keshi. It's going to make him even more sustainable, even more possible to go for these dives. So now the Smart Omega has starting to get that balance with aggressiveness and sustainability. It's going to become even more of a problem for DreamMax Girls.
Cool. Genius Wand also picked up here by Amore. So she's going to be able to provide a lot, even if it's just, all right, we dropped the Eternal Guard down. That can help, especially with Keshi. You can see the damage potential already. You know, this is the thing we've been seeing so far. Whenever Julian's locked in, the damage is great alone, but once you start to pair it up with a mid lane that either or picks up that Genius Wand and gets that magic resistance down, that's where you see these burst potentials, and that's why, again, Keria, she hasn't been able to pop up any game-changing or team fight-changing implosion ultimates with this Tigreal pick. Right now, Conceal going to be used. They don't spawn anything, though. Interesting.
I think it's just to get some ground, right? Just to maybe claim back a little bit of land. Just try to figure out exactly where they are. DreamMax Girls also not like overreaching. Some of the problems in the previous games you guys said was, you know, trying to pick too many fights all the time. And this time they are kind of taking a bit slow. And I think having La La Land on the Farza gives them some range.
Oh, there's goes in with the implosion, finds multiple members as Keshi will fall. A double kill for Hybridy. And now one of the turrets Shinoa's taken care of too. DreamMax Girls are changing it around, turning it around. And they will keep Smart Omega Empress at bay. This is their time to take the Lord, take the objective. But can Murray and not Ayanami do anything about it? It looks like they can't. A massive swing here for DreamMax Girls.
A massive swing, a massive play, and a massive implosion at that. Let's take a look at the replay. A beautiful flicker, and what's his name gets pulled in, and then the combo with the penalty zone. Shinoa coming in as well, trying to do something, but instantly deleted from La La Land. They find that one play, and there goes where the aggression pays off.
She's like, yes.
She's like, I risked it for the biscuit, and it paid off, Naisu. It paid off.
You know, that was a sigh of relief because Keria, like I said, man, most of the game, she has been struggling to get that implosion off. And that's exactly what she was able to manage there. And that, you know, that alone brings them into this position where they're controlling things now. You know, they pretty much evened out the game. Even if you look at the gold, it's relatively just an even ball game at this point. Lord is top side now, so it's up to Smart Omega Empress to actually defend this with, you know, the fact that they've been controlling the majority of this game. All the items that they have locked in, obviously, are going to help them clear this out pretty quickly. So we'll see what DreamMax Girls decides to do. Do they actually push this in, put the pressure on Smart Omega Empress. Lord's still half of the health here. It's going to be worked on. Feathered Airstrike comes down 2, forcing Shnoa back under half health. Even with that, the mid lane turret also going to be taken down. Still up for now, a couple hits away. Lord finally goes down. Numeral Blast will be charged up, but won't be committed. They lose that mid turret.
DreamMax Girls take the first inhibitor of this best of 2. 9-10 gold lead, not too far ahead, just about 1,000 gold. Smart Omega Empress definitely still in the game, but we're starting to see the scaling of Aslan. We're starting to see the scaling of La La Land. And at this point, like I said, Keshi not as valuable of a piece on the Julian. What's going to be important for Smart Omega is they're not going to be able to just brute force this anymore. They have to find the big set just like Kira did. They have to find that big Numeon Blast or that big Earthshaker, something that can buy them just enough time that Shinoa can unload, something that can buy just enough time that Amore can unload. So let's see if they can pull this off. They're going to go back to just taking buffs. Things all back to a standstill. DreamMax Girls not trying to rush things. They stall the lanes. They move back, get their own jungle. And at this point, it feels kind of like a tied game.
I think if you look at, how the course of this game, the trajectory, if you will, for DreamMax Girls, they're happy with what they managed to get to this point. 16 minutes in, they're at even footing. Looking at the items too, they're exactly where they want to be. Some of these last items locked in. Also, a little more tanky items, especially for Hybridy and Icaria, because they have to replicate, they have to emulate what they just did. Going into the next objectives, we're 15 seconds away from that Lord coming up here, and that's why you have both teams, especially for Smart Omega Empress, kind of taking that step back, recalculating things, making sure that there is no pick-off here. They want to go full force and fight this one out. Now, the advantage that DreamMax Girls has is, they can keep Aslan in the side lane. She can actually just go ahead and push in and, join the fight if she lands that Spirit of Destruction. And that's the thing. Anytime it's a Lord dance, a Lord take, it's easier to get that Spirit landed. But it looks like she's just going to make her way here for this Lord.
And a beautiful macro play. They push in the top lane. Down comes the Feathered Airstrike. A little bit of action.
A little bit of action. Flicker already used. Keria doesn't have it this time. They had to clear the wave too, holding on to that top turret just barely. Wow, look at that damage again. So it looks like, even for DreamMax Girls, they're like, yeah, maybe we won't push this one just yet. Let's see what else we can find here.
I think losing that Feathered Airstrike that early was a bit of a misplay, kind of. Maybe they thought the real fight was going to happen, but Smart Omega Empress does a great job of just backing off, but still keeping vision, still letting them know, yeah, we're here just watching from outside the Feathered Airstrike. We're ready to jump in on this Lord Pit at any moment. DreamMax Girls knows they don't have a huge lead. Smart Omega knows that they don't have a huge lead. Even though they've taken a little bit of extra gold here, still it is not game-changing, but the big problem that's going to be for Smart Omega is that long lane up top, and Aslan is playing it so well. The macro, and it's like, who do they really send up there? I don't know if Amore is the right choice, because that's a slow mage to have to run back and forth.
Yeah, she's got to do the beauty pageant walk back to the Lord Pit pretty much, at this point. But she's clearing the waves. They're keeping it under control. They know part of it too for Smart Omega Empress. They can let, DreamMax Girls take this Lord, let it start up. It looks like they're just going to keep Aslan here, to go ahead and bring it down at least below half.
This is making me nervous right here. Everyone's sitting in the bush. It is a standoff right now. Aslan, I think, was hoping that he could bait, or hoping she could bait something out there, chipping away at the Lord a bit. But watch for Keshi. Watch for the possible steal here.
Okay, resets once again. Aslan's going to get this. We've seen this. This is like the new
the tango.
Yeah, this is the new evolved Lord Dance. What do we call it? The tango?
The tango. You know who tango's the best, right?
Ooh.
The Latin Americans.
That's true. That's true. If you want to learn, head on over there. Because right now it's just, that's what it is. Smart Omega Empress, they have something in mind as well, and it could just be a surprise play, a surprise pickoff. We always have to consider the situations of having conceals and playing the part, because Keria is also going to be trying to do that herself. And so with this, once again, you're going to see Aslan go ahead and make her move on the top side of these side lanes, putting the pressure there, forcing Amore to pretty much answer the call. Someone's got to answer the wave push, and that's the advantage of even just having that one base turret down in the mid lane that they can work around. But still, it's a stalemate for now, Trex.
Man, this game is bringing me back. It's making me feel good inside because right now it's a slow. I mean, it's a bit of a slow pace right now.
It's bringing you back.
It's bringing me back to the longer games, the good old days.
Hey, we did a 30-minute game earlier.
You did, and it was definitely hype. But that's what we're getting right now. Neither team is rushing. Both are very pacing. DreamMax Girls playing the macro game. Smart Omega answering back with macro game. It's not just two teams crashing for a Lord, seeing who comes out on top of the coin flip. I like it. I like the way both these teams are playing right now. Taking a look at some of these items, we did see Shanoa lock in the Wind of Nature. Expect some possible item juggling there. Some possibilities. On the side of Aslan, Aslan does not go for a super defensive item. It's just a gold meteor, I'm pretty sure. I don't think I saw Wind of Nature or an Immortality in there, anything like that. So a bit more aggressive there. That could be the thing that changes the tide for either direction.
Keep an eye. Keria, placement, she's in. Once again, conceal play can be used. And there it is. Conceal already going to be used. Ice set goes in with the implosion's going to find Keshi. Keshi taken out.
That's huge.
And now Shanoa trying to run for her life. Pops the Wind of Nature. Lord still a quarter of the health down. They could just take it. DMX is going to go ahead and start it up. And now they get the Lord Aslan. What a play. What a decision and a shot call from Keria.
This is how you tango. This is how you dance. DMX
that was a dance.
Showing up. That was a dance. That was a beautiful dance. But remember, the Pinoys created the Lord dance, and this is definitely not over just yet. A Lord is coming down. They still have Shanoa on the field. Let's take a look at that, though. Kira with some beautiful positioning in that side bush, hits the conceal play, comes in and finds the perfect target. Look at that smile. I love the reaction, and you said it. She was having some problems hitting those sets. Well, now she's on fire.
She's on fire, and now the base could possibly be on fire here for Smart Omega Empress. They have to clear out the Lord. The bottom turret's going to fall, and that one hit away from the top. Feathered Airstrike already going to be dropped as well. Trying to clear out the Lord, trying to manage these minions the best they can, and so far the base will be fully exposed. They want to fight back. They find Aslan. Infinite Blast going to be used too. They still have to work through the Immortality, but Hybrid goes in once again with the penalty zone. She might just be the sacrifice to keep them alive. The base being worked on, supercharged minions through. They got to clear these out, manage the waves, but they got two from DMX.
Smart Omega Empress, don't lose it all that easy. In just a moment, a game could have turned around. If those minions weren't on the base and Smart Omega had the opportunity to chase down DreamMax Girls, it could have possibly been GG's. And even now, they're going to try to rush things down. It's a 5v3, Naisu.
They still got 30 seconds on Hybrid. Aslan up in 20. You're going to run it down the mid lane. Keria once again. Feathered Airstrike. Keria goes in with the implosion. Going to find a couple members, but Infinite Blast going to stop her in the tracks. Immortality will be popped as she goes down next. Eternal Guard already going to be worked on, but Smart Omega, they're looking to close out the game, but they don't have the minions just yet. Still, Aslan's back up. Hybrid just around the corner. That might be all they can get for Smart Omega Empress.
Okay, 23 minutes on the dot. We got us a game. Inhibitor down in the mid side for DMX. 3 inhibitors down for Smart Omega. Lord up in 50 seconds. Taking a look at the items. At this point, everyone is maxed out. The only one that needs one more is going to be Keira. I'm guessing we're going into a... what's it called? Magic Defense Shield. Athena Shield. I had the shield down.
Yeah, you had it.
Yes, and we're going into an Athena Shield. Going to help with some of that burst damage. Already have the Radiance Armor. To stack it on top, we got the Blade Armor. But at this point, it does feel like Keira, even with any defensive items Keira brings, Shanoa's going to shred through. Yeah. So Keira has to make sure that all counts. Just like she did the past 2 times, she has to make sure that implosion matters. And if Keira messes it up, it could spell GG's, right? Because you're kind of all in at that point. You go in, you pop the implosion, you're just a standing target at that point. So if Keira goes in and messes it up, that could be the end, because we're talking 70-second death counters at this point. We're talking a long wait till your tank is back on the field. So a lot of it could come down to this Lord. One of the advantages for DMX, though, is going to be that long lane once again. They have the stronger minions there because the inhibitor down for Smart Omega Empress, and they have Aslan consistently checking in on it.
Yeah, fully exposed base is the advantage that DreamMax Girls have. Again, Seal going to be used. They go and crash into the mid lane, penalty zone. Going to find multiple targets. Pneumo Blast, answer it through. A couple knockups more, and then the Eternal Guard is there on the front side. Keshi will be able to survive as they find a kill on Hybridy. And that might be enough. A numbers advantage for Smart Omega Empress, but still, DreamMax Girls are in position to make this a tough one to grab.
Yeah, with 55 seconds on the clock for Hybridy, Smart Omega Empress might try to close it up. The thing is they know that DreamMax Girls still have a retribution on the field, and they're not rushing it. And Keshi actually had to go back up to clear that wave. So I'm wondering, does this give enough time for DreamMax Girls and minions back on the base? That's going to be such a tough thing to answer. And Keshi's like, do I go back? Do I go back to the Lord? I don't know which way to go. It's definitely becoming a problem for Smart Omega Empress. I think at this point you just commit to the Lord.
Looks like they're going to do just that, even though they take quite a bit of damage from the Lord themselves. Looks like the ladies want to take it slowly here. They don't want to overly commit. Even though there's a flicker not available for Keria, she's still going to put the pressure on them and make them second guess this. The one thing you have to watch out for too is where Aslan lands her spear. And Smart Omega Empress knows this. Conceal play going to be used. They're going to go ahead and find anyone they can. It's going to be Angelus, the one they go. Still have to get through that. Immortality Implosion comes down. Eternal Guard there too. Spear Destruction. She's not going to follow it up just yet. They get the stun out on Keria. They're chasing her down. They'll find the kill. Shinoa as well backs off, picks up the Whip Nature, takes some magic damage. La La Land will pick up and clean up the kill.
La La Land comes in to even the scoreboard. Kier was down. I thought it was over at that point. You start losing members this late in the game, and like I said, it is trouble, but taking out the marksman for a tank, it is a beautiful trade, and still minions continuously crashing at the base, forcing this from being a 4v4 to a 4v3 or a 4v2.
Oh, this is so tough. They might actually just lose the base there. They're still working on it. The minions have to be cleared.
He's going in.
Aslan takes the lead and goes in with the spear and will win the game.
DMX, stop, drop, roll. They're coming in, they take the dub after taking a 2-0 sweep earlier on, take out Smart Omega Empress. But if we know the Filipinos, they're gonna be coming back strong in game number 2. But we gotta give it up to DreamMax Girls right now, because like we said throughout all of group stage, you take a big loss and you either come back weaker or you come back stronger, and today they came back stronger.
Man, what a ending that was. Thought we were going to see the tango a little bit longer, but Aslan's just like, nope, not happening. And that's hard, man. I mean, that's the thing with this lineup that Smart Omega Empress had. You got to manage those waves, and that was tough.
All right, that's going to be it for me and Naisu for that game. Let's send it over to our experts.
Thank you so much, Mirko.